Hello and welcome everybody to a very special All-Star Charts event. We are here talking about how to buy the best stocks consistently, particularly in the best of times. I am joined by my best of friends, fellow co-host today, at least, Alfonso Depablos. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, Steve? How are you?
As
I'm
the
glad to be
director
here.
and as the director of research at All-Star Charts, you're overseeing all of the research, right? Not just
Right.
one corner or another. And we're here today to talk about how we get into the best trends consistently. And we have a number of different top-down exercises, but also bottoms up scans, right? That we're going to talk about today.
Yep, that's right. I mean, here at Ulster Chart, we run different type of scans, different type of environments as well, and that's what we're trying to do. Find early stages, early new brand uptrends, and try to profit from them. So let's take a look at some examples and how we do it and how we found them. So the first one, the big theme, the first big theme was quantum for us this year, right, Steve?
Mm-hmm.
So the first example here is Dave Quantum ticker symbol QBTS.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, we got long above 13 and a base breakout here. Nice base price, gapped higher here. And the way we found it was back in May, on our 2 to 100 club scan was right at the top of our list. So what we
Yeah.
do with the 2 to 100 club is that we try to identify the strongest growth stocks as they claim on the market cap leaders, from small cap to mid caps, and eventually to mega caps on large caps, right?
And this is one of those scans where we are so used to finding the best stocks in the market, right? So we look extra carefully uh, at this list every week. So this is basically companies that are primed to grow far above the market average in the future, right? These are secular growth stories, mega trends, stuff like online betting, semiconductors, all the software stuff is in here. Any sort of mega trend industry group is put into a scan, and then we basically filter by relative strength to find the best opportunities. So it's no surprise that quantum computing stocks were rising to the top of this list, frankly, over and over and over again this
Yep.
year and late last year. There was a huge rally in these names, Q3, Q4 of last year. And then that leadership reasserted itself. So this is where we found D Wave, but not only D Wave, a couple others too. No?
Yeah, let's take a look at the first example again. QBTS
Oh,
here.
breakout. Oh my
Here,
God.
yep, 140% until our first target here. Nice base breakout. Here is Rigetti, one of our favorite trades this year. We got
Yeah.
long about, in this hard rate test, in this polarity
I'll tell
level
you,
around 10.
this is one of my favorite chart setups of all time.
Yep.
Against those old highs, coiled up, ready to go. You drop a VWAP there. What happened after this?
Look, we got long made four, and
Yep.
then from the same speculative growth leadership scan that we run back in May, early May, trying
What a
to,
scan. Yep.
yeah, yeah, trying to, notice that how we filtered this was a percentage of 108 lows, and also we included momentum. So the current readings in the Rigetti was near to get over by that time. So momentum
Yep.
was positive there, and then what happened? We hit
So
our
this
first.
was, hold on, hold on. This was
Yeah.
back after, shortly after the market bottomed.
Yep.
Okay. March to April, early April, was not good for risk assets. Everything got destroyed. People turned very, very bearish in this moment. We were running scans, right? Well, 2 months out from the bottom, saying
Mhm.
what stocks have done the best. Let's lean into those more. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, what we're trying to do there in that time, we were trying to identify relative strength, and we found a lot of these names in speculative growth stocks performing better than the other ones. And what
Yeah.
we do at the end is, identify risk management levels, and try to identify, you know asymmetrical risk reward opportunities, right, as we did with Rigetti.
So one target was hit. That's a decent trade.
The second target
Oh,
was hit,
two
and the third
targets were
target
hit.
was hit. We went
Three
very
targets.
long this one, because it's also the upside potential coming from these names, right?
Yeah,
So we were
that's
trying
right.
to get multiple targets and let the winners run.
And look, we do more at All Star Charts. We have a number of different products where we actually made a lot more money than what are you showing here? 300%. That's great. I think we might have made 6,000%
That's
trading
correct.
calls long in the same name using the same research. So that's what we're trying to do here, make the most money in the best trends. And it wasn't just quantum computing, right? Before the Bears took over just recently, it was a lot of areas in speculative growth. So space and exploration was another big one.
Yep. So here we're looking at ASTS, Space Mobile, ticker symbol ASTS.
Big range.
And what I liked about this setup, it was the big pinch, that it was right there.
Yeah.
So when we saw a break at about 25, which also was a former resistance back in 2021, that was our clean level. That was our line in the sand. The stock came from the same scans as the quantum names. Here you can look at. And then what happened, it ripped higher on a vertical line. First target hit around 40, secondary target hit around 62, 63, 140% from entry. Nice winner.
Yeah, really good stuff. And when we see when we see a theme working, what do? Like we'll lean into it more. So if we see something popping up in the 2 to 100 scan and the speculative growth scan and under the hood and minor leaguers, we'll say, okay, we'll do more of that, right? And that's a lot of what we did this year. As far as I'm concerned, really leaning into the speculative growth theme the best way that we could.
Yep, that's right.
So after this, I mean, just more space and exploration. We did some drone stocks for a while. This is Rocket Lab.
Yeah, this is Rocket Lab. We bought again the same retest. Not how this chart look exactly the same. We
Yeah.
didn't catch that filing knife, but we what we wanted was, momentum return, relative strength come back, and buy on a strength back about 21, back about that former resistance level. And what happened next? It hit our target around 32, secondary target around 50.
Yeah, that is one epic scoop and score back into the box. Nope, trap the Bears. Off to the races. And this one paid very quickly. So then when we see something like this, we say, let's just buy the other one. Planet Labs was next.
Planet,
It's
yep.
still holding up really well today.
Yeah, no, that's right. And again, in this case, a nice bearish to bullish reversal pattern, a huge rounding pattern formation was carving out. And again,
Mhm.
it was a catch-up play here. Notice
Yep.
how the rest of the space was making new all-time highs and back above the prior cycle highs. And we bet the Planet Labs will do the same. What happened next? It hit our target around 12, back to the former highs. Perfect trade.
So listen, Alfonso, is it as simple as just picking the hottest stocks every day, every week, every month, or are we paying attention to the bigger picture? Because obviously we're doing a lot of research here. And I think the next one is a great example. New nuclear. This is an area, an industry group that we've been bullish on for a long time. There's been a massive base, a structural reversal pattern in place here. This is
Yep.
the uranium and nuclear energy ETF, NLR. Right, so we see this playing out. And then we start to see these new names that came public a year, 2, 3 years ago popping up on our scans more and more. Nuclear energy stocks, right? And we know that this is the context for that trend. So something like, Okilo.
Look at that, a leader on the space. Again, we in this particular case, we use the big web from the lows, big web from the IPO as a trigger entry, as well as a key extension level. So that was a confluence of resistance. And
Yep.
once Okilo and the price broke about 27, it ripped higher. And in a multiple target, secondary target hit, and a 500% since entry if you hold it. From the entry. So what an uptrend, what a leader of the space.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So as any good traders, what do? We take these profits, we stuff them under our pillow, or do we take them and redeploy them into similar setups in similar groups? So we went right back to the well. We said these new nuclear names are really working. The next one is NNE.
Yep.
Same setup, really. A little bit less strong. Look, Okilo's been as good as anything, right? But there's other names in the space like NNE and SMR that follow the same path. So we take those profits from an early leader and we redeploy them into similar setups in the same group sometimes. And that's exactly what we did here with nano nuclear. No?
Yeah. And notice that in this case in particular, in the new nuclears, we wouldn't be buying like a big basis, but
Yeah.
more, classic retest into a key areas of resistance, key areas of support, and the VWAPs from the IPOs. All in all of these examples came into the same place and were our trigger entry here. So that's what we do also at Ulster Charts, not only using horizontal support and resistance, but we also help ourselves with more tools. For example, the VWAP, that it's one of our favorites. So what happened here? Break it about 25, target hit
Wow.
at 37 in a matter of 2 weeks. We got long on May 9, and our target was hit on May 23.
All right. How about SMR?
Yeah, very similar setup from a space and exploration, right?
Nuclear.
Hard, yeah, exactly, hard retest here, and a scoop and score. I know you love these setups, and the squeeze was setting up. The stage was setting for a nice squeeze higher after we did a failed breakdown here, as you can see in this green arc. So we got long on strength about 16. It hit our target around 24.
Yeah. And fast too, right? So these are all like basically it's not even a sympathy trade, but you can almost build a list when you're looking at a certain industry group and you say, okay, if one is going this way and another one's going this way and now another one's going this way, the next one is going to follow that same path. So all we're doing sometimes when we hit these trends and we hit them so well, it's because we're taking profits from one, but also taking information as we do and saying, okay, if that worked, doing something similar will work again in the future. So we take those profits and we redeploy them into the same thing that we just did, right? Finding a new opportunity and something that's set up just like our last winner. And then we make money again. And then we just keep doing the same thing as long as it works. And then when it stops working, we say, okay, that's a good signal to maybe that was enough of that.
That's very well said.
All right. And then from there, speculative growth, fine. But how about some of these financial stocks, right? Maybe it was the speculative growth of finance, but SoFi, Robinhood, I know there's others. Um, where did these pop up? What scan did this come from? Under the hood?
No,
Speculative
this
growth.
one
Yeah.
came from the same growth leadership scan. Um, so in this case, Robinhood was shaping up very nicely. Robinhood and SoFi have been one of the best trades that we have had this year. Very nice and clean level to manage risk against 67. That was a peak earlier this year, peak after the IPO. And look what happened next. Robinhood here, our first target. and we almost hit our secondary target. But again, the stock doubled in a matter of months.
I mean, this one has gone in an absolute straight line higher.
Yep.
It's been as good as any stock in this market this cycle. And a lot of crypto stocks you really can't say the same about. All right, talk to me about SoFi next.
Well, SoFi came in our scan called under the hood. So what we're trying to do here is that it is a list of stocks that are seeing initial increase in investor interest. So it's one of my favorite scans. It always have a nice and a very juicy names in this name, in this scan, sorry. And then we applied our technical expertise here, and we were betting that SoFi will look more like Robin Hood, right? So this was a nice bearish to bullish reversal trend here, right above the 38 retracement, and we bought this breakout. We bought this breakout, playing some catch up here to former all-time highs, former highs around 28. We got long on May 23, and on September 20th, we hit our target.
This is one of those patterns that we've seen time and time again this whole cycle. This is just a textbook classic, bearish to bullish reversal pattern where we can see, okay, this is completed. The path of least resistance is now higher. And what do? Any consolidations that occur along the way after that point, you just lean in the direction you think those are continuation patterns. And in this case, wow, what a beautiful continuation pattern. 19 got you 28 fast.
Yep.
That was a good one. And we even went even further down the cap scale. Yeah. In fintech, we went a little bit out there into crazy town, because the truth is Bitcoin miners, say what you will about Bitcoin or crypto, this year hasn't been great. But Bitcoin miners for a while there, these were the best stocks in the market.
Oh, that's true. And one thing to highlight about crypto miners, the relative strength in these crypto miners, it's what stands out, and you will see why. So here it is, the Bitcoin mining ETF, WGMI, again, pressing against a critical level of resistance around 30. We got long on this breakout. A couple of months after we hit our target, the relative strength in these names overall is what has been off the charts this year.
Yeah, and we were in the best ones, were we not?
Yeah, that's right. So here's a look at iron. We got long again. Look at that monster base breaking out above that IPO level around 28. So if we were above 28, we wanted to be long with two upside targets, 45 and 73. So
yeah,
speaking of a bullish reaction,
crazy.
a vertical move in a matter of months, we got long for the first time in August 30th, and we just hit our secondary target on November 7th, like 2 weeks ago.
It's been an absolute vertical uptrend for this stock and some of its peers. I mean, Cypher was similar. This one went from 28 to almost 100 fast. Still doing pretty well, holding up. How about this one? Climbing up the right-hand side of this base around 750.
Yep. In this case, again, playing some catch up to the leaders, right? So relative strength was what was getting in this name. So we bet clean level, not just how this level around 750 capped the previous advances of the past few years. And look, we were only long about 750.
Quick double. Boom.
Quick double. Literally in less than a month, we doubled in this name.
Yep. Now, these stocks have been so good. I think opportunities will arise there again in the future. The bottom line is, Alfonso, we are running hundreds of these scans, similar scans, all day, all week at All Star Charts. We publish them, we share them with clients. We share our favorite setups from all of these scans on both the long and short side in every single market, stocks, cryptos, commodity stocks, right? We all over energy, healthcare, whatever else it is.
Yeah.
So, here's the deal. Running into the holiday season, running a special sale today. We typically sell the quarterly plan for $850. You can get it today for $618. That is a special Fibonacci number. Okay. It's a special, very special Fibonacci number. It's good luck. It means that all of your trades will make money once you sign up. I'm kidding. But this, the whole plan comes with access to Rangefinder, which is our system to help us track our trades and track our research. We also have some really cool tools that we're building more and more inside of Rangefinder, like the Squeeze Watch and other stuff. And if you sign up for the annual plan, typically about $2,500, you can get right now for 1.618. Again, a very special number. What do these sales numbers mean to you, Alfonso, as a big Fibonacci disciple?
Look, we know these numbers very well, Steve. And in the planning, we also have 2 monthly conference calls, right?
Yeah.
One when we zoom out and we take a step back and look at the primary trend, identify the primary trend, and then a more tactical view in the
Yep.
middle of the month. And for me, that's one of the most one of my favorite features that we run here at All-Star Charts. And again, look, we also are looking not only equities, we are looking at currencies, bonds, crypto. So we usually send every single week a special report on currencies, bonds, and yeah, on different
It's a
scans
great point.
every week, right?
It's a great point, Alfonso. It's not just the equity market research. We're covering everything, all asset classes, foreign currencies, fixed income, commodities, covering it all, crypto, everything, one-stop shopping. And we'll get you in all the best trends like we just talked about here today. So thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you, Alfonso, for joining me. If you have any questions, info@allstarcharts.com. Have a great Thursday afternoon, everybody. Thank you.